So thank you for being here. I hope you love to be embraced by Future. My name is Theophano Christiane Klappert. I'm the founder of Sublime of Change. Sublime of Change was founded in 2012 already. This is me when I came to Hamburg 40 years ago, already being busy with philosophy for 5 years by that time. And philosophy is still the one and only that I'm really in love with, except of this wonderful guy who's sitting there. So what am I about? I'm a natural-born feminist. I started being a feminist with the age of 5 when I found out I'm somehow different than my brothers are, because of the way I was treated. So I thought there must be something, and I started thinking about that, and this is how I became the natural-born feminist. Sublime of Change, that's the name because I'm very busy with sublimity and with the sublime, and also about the sublime art of making sense. So when we talk about organizations and when we talk about work and when we talk about purpose, we are always thinking about what is the sense, how do we make sense? We come to that later. So I'm also the creative act of new business because I love to be in new business and I love business development, especially in startups and especially in startups made by women. The musicality of being, that has a lot to do with my being very romantic and creative. And the new ways of being and new ways of seeing, that goes back to John Berger, who invented the new ways of seeing in 1972. And you should Google him, John Berger, New Ways of Seeing. I'm right now, since I'm also very fond of life science and healthcare, digging deep into ophthalmology and also eyewear. As you can see, this is my very new one. So I always try to find new ways of seeing, and I'm always ahead for the future ahead. And I found out that being a human being and being a woman is not enough. You have to be more. So I found out that the best way to live and to be and to find your purpose and even your post-purpose is to become a monster. And I will tell you what that is in a minute. So my future is about thinking like and dancing like monsters with mountains. That's what I would like to suggest as for you if you are looking for how to embrace the post-purpose era. So I say welcome to Purpose and Beyond, the power of purpose failing forward. You know it's very important. If you fail fast and fail forward, not backwards, especially when you are a woman. Embracing the post-purpose era. As a philosopher, you always know we don't know what we don't know. That's always important to say to yourself. So, in the last 13 years, I have been busy with these things you can see on the right hand since I established Sublime of Change. It's just for inspiration. And what are the numbers about? I'm also very busy with numerology, and that's my future, starting with 7, 18, and all my projects ahead. So I have already my plans for my post-purpose era. So as said, Sublime of Change is busy with making sense in organizations. But recently I found out that it's better to stop making sense. And that when you want to embrace the erratic and when you want to deal with the things that make you crazy in these times, then you should focus on the power of failing forwards and the purpose and beyond. So I'm in love with all the words beginning with post and an hyphen. So when I studied philosophy and art history, I was very fond of postmodern architecture, postmodern thinking. And when it came to diversity, belonging, and inclusion, I was very much thinking about post-other. What is a post-other world we could live in where there is no othering, where we all are belong together? So that's, right now I'm thinking about post-human, because post-human is very close to the monster. So when it comes to failing forward, we come to collective trauma. We face all the problems that we have with male and also with female violence and the war and all the things that make us run away from the present into the future or into the past. So that's about hauntology, when you are haunted by the ghosts from your collective traumas that might bring you back to the time where you came from. So I suggest to, and MUMP, that's, do you know MUMP? That's Musk and Trump. And if you follow Musk and Trump, you should jump so not to get into slump. As women, we know what it means to be in flesh and stone, to be in intimacy and in tyranny, and also in masquerade and civilization. My glasses are also a symbol of a masquerade and also civilization. And sometimes we are also the carnivalesque, even though we don't want to, but being a woman can be very awkward, as we know. So, and then we try to put all our strength and all our power together, and then we try to make rituals together, have pleasure together, make politics of cooperation, and in order not to envision the corrosion of our character as a woman. So, the rituals we can have together, we can have pleasure, we can have playfulness. When you are an artist, you know, and also if you are a non-tech brainer, as Kritika said, you should really be careful with everything that makes you playful, because playfulness and pleasure and adventure and also leisure time is very important to become a good thinker and a big thinker. I talked already about belonging, and I talked about failing backwards. Failing backwards, running into slump and running into mump could mean that on your way to leave othering behind, to become a post-other woman, you could be longing for belonging. But please don't make the mistake to fail backwards and run into longing to be and being not bowing into the back. Please don't. I know it's quite harsh, I know, but I had to show that because I'm a monster. So becoming a monster means, what is the word monster about? It has a lot to do with visibility, and as we all know, we have to be visible as women. That's why I'm here on stage. It's my third time on an ITCS stage, and I really enjoy it, and I really love the Women in Tech stage, and all of you should be on this stage because we all have to tell about being a woman and being a woman in tech, otherwise you won't be here. So next time you should be on that stage, please. Becoming a monster means leaving the idea behind that you are just a human being. Think about what it means or could mean for you to be a post-human being, and what could it be to be a monster, to show up and show what your thoughts are about and make your brain visible. That's why I also showed some harsh pictures, but I'm trying to be provocative, and so that you can also think about your own ways of becoming a monster. because it's really nice. Sublime of Change is not only about being a monster, it's also about the power of craftsmanship. So 2 years ago, when I was on the stage at Women in Tech in Cologne, this was 2 months after I had an accident, and I felt very vulnerable on stage with being with a handicap. And so I really felt how it is to be on stage, trying to be a monster, trying to show up, and feeling very vulnerable and very handicapped. But I decided to go on stage even though I was handicapped because I took the power of now and molded it. I showed up and showed my vulnerability and also my being handicapped and also my longings for inclusion and for othering and belonging as a woman. So I really can suggest the creative act of craftsmanship. You see that guy here after there was snow. He is a good salesperson. He said, well, if there's nothing to sell, then I will make some snowballs and I sell them until the sun comes. So you see, I'm also very fond of new ideas on how to make new business, because he just made new business. So, to sum up, when we are monsters, or when we want to become monsters, when we want to live in a world in a post-purpose era, not always getting up in the morning, asking ourselves, why am I getting up? For what am I getting up? What is my job to do now? No, what is beyond, and what is the sublime above all this question and answers to the why? Then you could always find friends and monsters with whom you could cooperate, with whom you could belong together, with whom you could craft and create together, and with whom you could think like and dance with them, dance with the mountains. So these are the wonderful people who made these pictures. And if you want to connect with me, you can do it there. And I thank you very much for listening. And I don't know what the time is. Oh, yeah, 13 minutes. Okay, do you have questions?
First of all, a big applause for you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for including the credits of the art, because in the life of AI, as a person who likes to draw themselves, it can get quite frustrating seeing all the AI art without actually humanness in it.
That's right. I also would like to add that I hear very often on this stage and on other tech stages that we should come from other areas of education to jump into AI, and that it's a huge opportunity and chance for us. I have 25 years experience in executive search and recruiting in the life science and healthcare industry, and there you can always see that they are not open to people like me coming from philosophy or from art history. So this is why I love AI, for example, because it's open to all kinds of brains and non-tech brains and all kinds of perspectives, and we need that very much.
Yes, we definitely need brains that are, think a little bit different than your typical, I'm not going to say old white man, but I'm maybe going to say old white man. Does anybody have any questions?
Does anybody want to make a monster with me? Or
does anybody want to make a monster with her? There's a raised hand. She wants to. I think it's honestly just a reclaiming of the word monster, and maybe also of words that people use specifically to describe women negatively, maybe stuff like hysteria, to kind of reclaim these words and use them for us, our benefits, and who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do have one question too. If you were to describe the current state of the world and the current state of mind, do you have anything to tell us how are we able to live in this world? How do you think we can deal with all that's happening and stay conscious, stay open, but also not get depressed and honestly very, very sad?
Yes, when I was 5 years old, finding out that I'm a feminist, I really thought, well, I don't know what I really thought with 5 years, I have to admit, but embracing is such a wonderful thing that you can do with future, embracing the future. I know errantry is, and also the erratic, is not just the very best thing that you want to embrace, but being open. And in the talk from Anke, she also said going step by step and always embracing what is coming next, and the power of now you should never underestimate, because yes, the power of now is that you, for example, there's this woman with a green shirt. I would like to talk with her now. So I would go there and say, what are you embracing right now? What are you fond of? What would you love to do? And what did you find out on this wonderful fair here with all the tech people? So embracing means also being very courageous, even though being in fear.
So we have to think about what we love, what brings us joy, and not focus on the future that we can't control.
Yeah, and thinking positive and such words I don't agree, because how to think positive?
It's not possible, at least not with my brain. Anyways, thank you so much again. A big applause for you.
Thank you.